All right, next section, we're going to talk about aplastic anemia. This can be either primary, which means they're born with the issue, or it can be acquired. A secondary is acquired. The pathophysiology, this is basically bone marrow failure. The bone marrow that's supposed to produce the formed elements of the blood doesn't work properly, either at birth or as an acquired issue, which means they have leukopenia, they have anemia, and they have thrombocytopenia. So what does that mean? What does leukopenia mean? Low white count. What do you expect to see? Prone to infection, but also they won't have an immune response to those infections. Okay. Anemia, not enough red blood cells, which means they're going to be weak, tired, fatigued, short of breath, can't perfuse their cells well, or can't oxygenate their cells. Thrombocytopenia, not enough platelets, which means they're going to be prone to bleeding because they can't clot effectively. And so that may look like active bleeding, but it may also be hidden bleeding that you may see petechia or purpura. So if all the formed elements of the blood are suppressed, that's called aplastic anemia. Hypoplastic anemia is when the red blood cells are profoundly suppressed, but the white count is, if it is suppressed, it's not very much. Okay. This is diagnosed by doing a CBC and a bone marrow aspiration. Management. So they've got to figure out why. There are medications that can stimulate red blood cell production. So if it's just red blood cells, they can do that. Frequently, this is an autoimmune issue, especially if it's acquired or secondary. So immunosuppressant medications may be used. If there's a matching donor available, a bone marrow transplant should be considered early in the process. They shouldn't wait around hoping it gets better. They should do that sooner than later. But the other piece of that is support. They can't fight infection, so we fight it for them. If the white count is too low, they need to be in protective isolation. Okay. They can't clot. We need to do whatever we can to prevent bleeding, and they can't oxygenate effectively because they don't have enough red blood cells. So we need to help them. That may mean rest and helping them space activities out to stay perfused. It may also mean supplemental oxygen. So think about the needs. We support their oxygen needs, infection control, and clotting. Okay. The next section is going to be short. It's about nosebleeds.